Hello crafty friends, Amanda with Crafting with Amanda, and this is Twisted Sister for the new September-October 2023 Close to My Heart catalog. And I'm showing you here that I am using the paper The Good Life, and I'm going to show you the catalog selections of it, kind of to get the feel of it. It has that country feel. I think you could use it for fall, you know, pumpkin shots and things like that. It has the old truck. This is the scrapbook papers or pages that you can do. And then here, of course, is the card kit. So it's definitely kind of a rustic country theme, I would say. And I am going to show you a different way to view this paper, I hope. Now, the colors in this collection are Mist, Harbor, Mocha, Espresso, Toffee, and French Vanilla. And then I am going to add a touch of gold. And I think you could also do silver if you like those blue silver tones, but I just thought with the toffee in it that gold was going to be my choice of accent colors. So once again, I'm digging back into my mom's heritage photos. And these are actually from my grandparents at Christmas time. So I'm not even sure how old those photos are, but I'm going to guess late 30s, early 40s. I found these two pins on Pinterest, or inspiration pieces. The one in the top left corner is a card, but I really liked how they arranged. They made that like cluster of focal point. And so I'm going to do that with my three photos here. The one photo is really faded. It's hard to see the faces, but I do believe it's my grandfather and my great-grandfather. So I believe that my granddad is sitting with my grandmother's father, so his father-in-law. And then again, looking at that inspiration piece or card in the upper left corner, I'm going to take this photo negative or photo strip, I think they're called, and use that as the stripe that's in the card. If you haven't watched my channel, I did a whole album or a whole month of pages for my mom back in 2022 for Mother's Day, and I used either this photo strip, these flower or leaves that are on here, a scalloped lacy border. One of those elements was on every page, and so I'm trying to keep with that to bring the thread through the album, and these pages will just go right into my mom's album. So I've cut some pieces down. I think you can see where I'm going from the inspiration of that card. I'm looking at this lace doily thin cut, and I think I might cut some of it out in Mist. And then I did cut out from the Cricut and the Home for Christmas digital art collection, which is the other paper pack in our new book, these poinsettias. And I love that there's 3 layers to them. There's 2 layers of the petals, and then this other layer of kind of the veins to the petals. And so I cut that out of gold cardstock. And I will have the link below for that. That's something Close to My Heart doesn't sell, but it cuts really well on the Cricut. As you can see, nice clean cuts there. And then I will offset the 2 sets of petals and give them some interest by pinching the leaves. I do end up shaping the poinsettias differently. Instead of pinching all of the leaves and having them all pinched, which I think is a perfect poinsettia, I end up pinching the bottom layer like I did here, but then the top layer I take a bone folder, and almost like you would pull curling ribbon to get it to curl, I curl the petals up and down, and you might be able to see that later when I am putting those on the layout. So I pulled this background paper, and when I started to assemble it, I didn't like it. So I swapped that out for French Vanilla, as you can tell. And then I have some white daisy leaves that I was using originally, but the color didn't work with my French Vanilla. So I cut more of those leaves out with the French Vanilla while I was cutting this doily out of the Mist cardstock. And I did cut some with the light color of Mist and with the dark color facing forward. As I attached this piece, I forgot to leave the edges open so that I could tuck these doilies underneath. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut a slit in the side, and I'll show you how I push this underneath. So sometimes even if you make a mistake, you can just correct it. I could have just cut out the frame again and attach it to a new piece of French vanilla, but I figured just cutting the slit, I could push this under and then cut the extra of the doily off like you'll see here. So that way I used the piece that I cut out that you see the brown on to make those French vanilla leaves. And that just makes my albums a little less bulky by having layer upon layer upon layer. And here I'm just kind of seeing if I want to add a doily underneath here. Again, I wasn't thinking as I was putting the photos down, so I went ahead and, you know, adhered them to the page, and I'm going to end up popping all of those off several times to just kind of play with the embellishments. And thankfully, the adhesive tape runner lends itself to that. Just grab your Cricut spatula or the multi-purpose tool and just peel those up and you're good to go. And because I'm using the leftovers, I just need to make sure that both edges make it look like it's a whole piece. So that's where I'm kind of dry fitting and seeing how far I need to go under there. And then I'm going to fill the center of this. I just thought it would make it feel more complete. I don't think you end up seeing any of that after I get all the embellishments done at the end. But who knows, if someone's looking that closely at your layout, you know, give them something to see, I guess. Now I'm taking my background element stamp and using the splatters, and I'm taking, these are just, they're actually the sheets that come in with my Close to My Heart orders that I cut into 4 pieces and have on my desk to use as scrap paper, so that I'm not wasting a whole nother piece of paper. And this way I'm not stamping anywhere that I don't want to get those images. And I'm doing this with the mist color, so it's just a nice soft. I thought about using the Harbor, which is a little darker, like I did with the words and also the film strip, but I think the mist, if I had used Harbor, it was just going to be too dark, and the mist is just a nice light background. And here you'll see that I went ahead and cut out some of the leaves with that thin cut leaf in the gold as well as the French vanilla. And I'm just kind of playing of where I want to put these, how many flowers I'm going to have on here. You can kind of see if you look at the flowers that they do have that curved over or from the top curved down, like I had told you. So I changed the look of the leaves, and you are more than welcome to decide how you want to do that. But for me, it just gives it a more lifelike feel. I don't know how everybody else does it, but I know for me, when I dry fit or kind of just play with the embellishments, I tend to get better results. And I also find that if I have more to pick from, like I go ahead and make more flowers and leaves than I know that I'm going to use, it just allows me more freedom to use those or edit them back. In this case, I'm going to use those that I created, the extra ones, probably for some Christmas cards. I don't know if they'll be the thank you cards or just Christmas cards in general. Here we go. The layout is done. I'm going to encourage you to stick around all week. If you haven't seen what the other 2 gals from Friday and Saturday have done for Twisted Sister, there's a playlist below the video. And then all of the products that are used are also listed below there. And you can connect with me on Facebook. Blessings.